So we've been lucky enough to sail on Celebration and then Jubilee not too far afterward. What do you think? What are some of how do you compare the ships?
Okay, the basic layout of the ships are the same, what I've seen. The decor is different. I loved the Miami slice and the pink flamingos and the craziness of Celebration. But I love the ocean, and Jubilee has this beautiful ocean theme throughout with the aqua blues and the octopus, like Dr. Ink's, and it has, the octopus tentacles, and it kind of is carried out through the ship. So that's just my preference. I think it's beautiful. Like I said, the aqua blues and it's just really pretty all over the ship. So decor-wise, I say Jubilee. What do you think?
I don't know. There was a lot of neat things I really like. For example, the theater on this ship, on the Jubilee, is blue and gray, and I think this comes across more sophisticated. But of course, there's you as far as a name, you really can't beat Miami Slice for the pizza place.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
The pizza's good on both.
Oh, it really is. The pizza's just about the same. There's very, very, very few differences. I think, for example, one of the biggest differences was in Emerald's, right? The tables seem a little more open and airy, right? They kind of lowered the booths that are in Celebration when they brought them over to Jubilee. So
they were kind of higher and almost felt divided out on Celebration, and the whole Emerald seating area is big and open and just like it feels bigger. It may not be a bigger space, but it feels bigger, and I think it does seat more people.
Right. And like she says, I really love the Dr. Inks and the theming with that. They did a lot with it. If you really look around, you'll find all these neat touches with Dr. Ink, the octopus PhD. It's just got a bookshelf, and they did a lot with it. I thought it was really clever.
Okay. Also, I mentioned Celebration has like the flamingos and the pinks and the Miami vibe, of course, because it home ports in Miami. Similarly with Jubilee, it is home porting in Galveston. So there's a big, huge star of Texas on the front of the bow of the ship, and it's big and bold and very Texas, and it's beautiful. I think that's a cool touch.
Absolutely, I really love that this ship is going to be home ported right here in Galveston. It's a lot.
We're not in Galveston right now.
Okay, well, yeah, we're somewhere between
Costa Maya and Cozumel.
Yeah, true. But I really love that the ship is going to sail out of, be home ported.
Mm-hmm.
Home ported in Galveston. I think that's fantastic to have a ship of that size that's able to serve the people of Texas, and it's certainly easier for us to get to as well.
They've also refurbished that entire terminal where Jubilee's sailing from, so it's beautiful and updated and really, really nice.
There certainly have been some differences for us in the cruise experience from Celebration to Jubilee. What is that? What have you found?
Well, on Celebration, we found the service to be wonderful. We had really good service in the dining room. And all over the ship, it was great. Now here on Jubilee, we are finding that the service is slow in a lot of venues. Not just the dining room was one of them, but then Chabang last night, our server was working as hard as he could, and he was very apologetic. And I don't know if there was just a disconnect of the food coming out, but our appetizers took almost an hour. I felt like the server was new and was trying his best and learning. So I think there's a learning curve. I think they've got a lot of new crew who are learning how to do the best job. So I think that is going to get better. So while it's a minor complaint, I think there's room for improvement, but I think they will get there. I just feel like it's a new crew learning what they're doing. But I hate to say it because, they're all friendly and they're all trying to do the best. So it's not it's not a attitude problem or anything like that. It's just, I think they're just learning to do the job and getting everything in the right timing to the table.
I think both cruises had approximately the same number of people, pretty full. And of course, it's a huge ship. It holds like 6,000 people or so, right? So there's a lot of people on board. So like Chabang, for example, was very, very full. A lot of people in there. There was many, many tables to serve at the same time. So certainly that was a contributing factor. But It's also one of those things with, that's the capacity of the restaurant. I think the team comes across as pretty new, and maybe there's an opportunity for some training. I think one of the biggest differences that I've noticed from Celebration to Jubilee is the quality of the shows that we've seen, as well as the shows and where they take place. They're
Right.
on Celebration, we caught several shows there in the Celebration Central, kind of that main atrium area, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed those. And there's been a couple of events that have taken place on Grand Central here on Jubilee,
is-
but it's really been just the
Bingo, Deal or No Deal. There's some musical venues, but it hasn't been the grand shows like the circus show and things we saw in Celebration where they're the acrobatics. We haven't seen any shows like that at Grand Central as they had in Celebration Central, which is the same place, just the different names. So I've found that interesting as well.
And that probably goes back to, again, kind of a training type of thing. I mean, there's certainly a lot of skill and a lot of work that goes into making those shows work, certainly in a brand new venue. So certainly we'll give them a little bit of slack, right?
Yeah.
As far as, learning how to
Yes.
perform those shows in that venue.
What Carnival does do right, and they do it on all ships, is the cruise director and the entertainment team. We had Lee, your cruise director, on Celebration, and he's fantastic, phenomenal. I mean, everything he does is great, and I'm thinking there is no way you can, beat that kind of cruise director. But we're on here on Jubilee with the Kindle Fire, and she's phenomenal as well. She
Very
keeps
high energy.
High energy, keeps everybody doing something and keeps telling everybody what's going on, and it's just, she's everywhere. I don't know how the cruise directors do it, but they are everywhere at every event, and they must have little tunnels that they can get to different places really quick on the ship because I mean, they're just everywhere and they do a great job. Every ship I've ever been on, the cruise director just makes the fun. So I do appreciate that.
We definitely sail Jubilee again. I'd sail Celebration again as well. Both of them are great ships, very well laid out. There's a lot going on. Oh, I said well laid out. There's a couple of glitches that I'm not crazy about. But they certainly have a lot of venues, a lot of included food. I think that's one of my favorite features on these ships. And I think that some of the service issues and certainly the shows and so on are one of those things that they're going to have resolved within just a few weeks here on Jubilee. So don't hesitate to reach out if you're interested. Reach out to Melissa, let her get your trip going. It's a lot of fun.